Hello, my name is Alex, and I am an avid learner of the English language. This is the story of my life-changing journey to London. It's a tale of discovery, learning, and the incredible people I met along the way. You can read my story and learn English with me. It was a bright summer morning when my adventure started. I was on a train, heading towards the heart of England. Across from me sat two women engaged in a lively conversation. Their words flowed effortlessly, a dance of English that I longed to understand fully. Although I had been studying English, I was still at the beginning stages, grappling with the basics. Gathering my courage, I initiated a conversation with the women. My English was rudimentary, but to my delight, they understood me. We exchanged pleasantries, and they shared that they were returning from a conference. Our chat lasted for about 10 minutes before my station arrived. As I prepared to disembark, they kindly offered their contact details, inviting me to visit them in England. We said our goodbyes, and I stepped off the train, inspired by our interaction. Motivated by this encounter, I dedicated myself to improving my English. Every day, I translated texts and watched films in English. 6 months passed, and my proficiency grew significantly. It was good progress, but I yearned for more. I decided to take a leap and travel to London to immerse myself in the language. Upon arriving in London, I enrolled in a language school. My first class was on a Monday, where I met my teacher and fellow students. Our teacher, a young woman with an infectious enthusiasm for teaching, greeted us warmly. We introduced ourselves, sharing our names and origins, and then the lesson commenced. Our teacher posed a question to us: "How do you study English?" She revealed that she could teach us a highly effective method that didn't involve traditional studying or textbooks. Instead, it focused on using English extensively in practical situations. This approach resonated with me, as I preferred active learning over passive studying. We discussed the importance of language in communication, expressing and understanding ideas. Our teacher emphasized that the best way to learn a new language was to use it for communication. That would be the core of our course, speaking and engaging in English as much as possible. Many students, she observed, focused on memorizing new words and studying grammar rules without actually using the language to communicate. She assured us that while learning new vocabulary and grammar was necessary, we didn't need to study them in isolation. Instead, she promised to show us a simple and effective method to learn words and grammar through practical use. I was intrigued by our teacher's philosophy. The lesson continued, and we spoke about our hobbies and free time activities. We conversed in pairs and with our teacher, speaking throughout the entire lesson. I found the experience enjoyable and fulfilling. This system of learning suited me perfectly. The next day, I returned to school, eager for more insights. One of my classmates asked a question that piqued my interest: "What is the best way to learn new words?" Our teacher explained that there were various strategies, but one stood out statistically as the most effective: reading. She advised that reading in a new language could accelerate learning significantly. It was beneficial to read for at least 30 minutes every day. She outlined key points to maximize the benefits of reading. Choose material that genuinely interests you, whether it's a captivating story or information related to your job or hobby. Avoid texts that don't engage you, as they can lead to frustration. Select texts where you are familiar with most of the words to maintain enjoyment and prevent feeling overwhelmed. As I listened to our teacher's advice, I felt a sense of clarity wash over me. Reading wasn't just about absorbing information. It was about connecting with the content on a personal level and enjoying the process of discovery. As the days turned into weeks, my English journey in London deepened. Our teacher encouraged us to engage in conversations with locals, believing that real-life interactions were the key to language mastery. So, armed with newfound confidence, I ventured into the heart of the city. One sunny afternoon, I found myself at a charming cafe near Covent Garden. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, and the gentle hum of conversation surrounded me. I chose a cozy corner table and ordered a cappuccino. As I sipped the frothy drink, I observed the people around me. A group of students chatted animatedly at the next table. Their laughter was infectious, and I decided to strike up a conversation. I introduced myself, stumbling over a few words, but they smiled and welcomed me. We exchanged stories about our lives, our dreams, and our favorite London spots. It was exhilarating, the language flowing effortlessly as we connected. Next, I wandered into a bookstore, a treasure trove of knowledge. The shelves held books from every corner of the world. I picked up a novel by a British author and approached the cashier. She had a warm smile and asked if I needed any recommendations. I hesitated, then shared my love for mysteries. She recommended a gripping detective series set in London. We chatted about fictional crimes and hidden clues, and she even jotted down the titles of a few other books I might enjoy. But it wasn't just casual encounters that enriched my language skills. I attended poetry readings in dimly lit cafes, where words danced like fireflies. The poets recited verses about love, loss, and the rhythm of life. I absorbed their passion, their metaphors, and the way they painted emotions with syllables. After each session, I'd sit in a quiet corner, scribbling my own poems, my heart pouring out in imperfect lines. And then there was Mr. Patel, the elderly gentleman who ran the corner grocery store. His shop was a kaleidoscope of colors, spices, fruits, and exotic vegetables. I'd visit him daily, practicing my English while selecting groceries. He'd tell me stories of his childhood in India, and I'd share tales of my hometown. Our conversations transcended language. They were a bridge between cultures. As the weeks turned into months, I realized that language wasn't just about words, it was about connection. It was the sparkle in someone's eyes when they understood your joke, the nod of approval when you expressed an opinion, and the warmth of a stranger's smile. London became my classroom, its streets my textbooks, and its people my teachers. And so, my journey continued, a symphony of conversations, each note adding to my linguistic repertoire. I discovered that language wasn't a static entity. It evolved with every interaction. I learned to listen, to the lilt of accents, the pauses, and the unspoken emotions. And in those moments, I felt alive, part of a grand narrative unfolding in this vibrant city. London's streets held secrets, whispers of forgotten tales and hidden passages. And so, my quest led me to a place few knew existed, the hidden library. It was a rainy afternoon when I stumbled upon it. The library stood nestled between two grand buildings, its entrance an unassuming wooden door. No sign marked its presence. Only those with a keen eye could spot it. I pushed the door open, and a bell chimed, a melody that seemed to echo through time. Inside, the air smelled of old parchment and ink. The shelves stretched infinitely, their wooden spines bending under the weight of ancient tomes. Dust motes danced in the dim light, and the silence was profound, a sanctuary for seekers of knowledge. The librarian, a wizened man with silver hair, greeted me. His eyes held centuries of stories, and he beckoned me forward. "Welcome," he said, his voice a gentle breeze. "You seek answers, young traveler." I nodded, my heart racing. "I want to understand," I replied. "The language, the essence of words." He led me to a section labeled Linguistic Arcana. Here, books whispered in forgotten dialects, their pages brittle yet alive. I chose one, a leather-bound volume titled Lexicon of Lost Words. Its cover bore intricate symbols, and as I opened it, the words swirled like constellations. The librarian watched as I traced my finger over the pages. "Words," he said, "are vessels of magic. Each carries a piece of the human experience. Some are lost, buried in time's embrace. But here, in this library, they awaken." I read aloud, and the room trembled. The words danced, forming images, a medieval marketplace, a moonlit rendezvous, a sailor's lament. I glimpsed forgotten emotions, Sonder, the realization that each passerby has a life as vivid and complex as your own, petrichor, the scent of rain on dry earth, and hiraeth, a homesickness for a place you can't return to. The librarian leaned closer. "To truly understand language," he said, "you must feel it. Speak these words into existence. Let them breathe." And sir, I did. I whispered Sonder to the rain-soaked window, imagining lives intersecting beyond the glass. I tasted petrichor on my tongue, remembering childhood summers. And when I uttered hiraeth, a tear slid down my cheek, an ache for distant lands and lost moments. But the library held more. In a hidden alcove, I found a book bound in starlight, its pages shimmering with cosmic dust. It revealed the language of celestial beings, their songs encoded in syllables unknown to earth. I sang those notes, and for a fleeting second, I glimpsed the Milky Way's heart. Days turned into weeks, and I explored further. I deciphered the whispers of trees, the rustle of leaves revealing ancient secrets, the echo of stones, the memory of civilizations long gone, and the sigh of waves, the ocean's longing for distant shores. The librarian watched my transformation. "Language," he said, "is a bridge between worlds. It connects us, to history, to dreams, to one another." And sir, I became a custodian of words. I wandered London's rain-kissed streets, sharing forgotten phrases with strangers. Their eyes would widen, recognizing something deeper, a connection beyond syntax. We'd laugh, cry, and weave stories together. As I write this, dear reader, I invite you to seek your own hidden libraries. They exist in quiet cafes, bustling markets, and forgotten corners. Listen to the wind, touch the rain, taste the air. The language of the universe awaits, a symphony waiting for your voice. And sir, my journey continues. The hidden library whispers, and I listen. There are more words to discover, more stories to unravel. For in this city of endless tales, Every conversation is a chapter, every encounter a page turned. The hidden library had opened my eyes to the magic of words, but there was another place, a cafe that held secrets beyond its steaming cups of coffee. It was called the Enchanted Brew. Nestled on a cobblestone street, the cafe seemed ordinary to passers-by. Its sign swung gently in the breeze, revealing a whimsical font that promised warmth and comfort. I pushed the door open, and a bell tinkled, a melody that resonated with my soul. Inside, the air smelled of cinnamon and dreams. The walls were adorned with tapestries, scenes of dragons, starlit skies, and forgotten constellations. The tables were mismatched, each holding a vase of wildflowers. And there, behind the counter, stood the cafe's enigmatic owner, Madame Alara. Madame Alara was no ordinary barista. Her eyes held galaxies, and her smile hinted at ancient secrets. She wore a cloak of midnight blue, its edges frayed like the pages of old books. When she spoke, her voice carried echoes of forgotten languages. "Welcome," she said, her words like a gentle incantation. "What brew shall you seek today?" I hesitated, scanning the menu. It wasn't filled with lattes or cappuccinos. Instead, it offered elixirs of memory, potions of courage, and whispers of forgotten tales. I chose the Starlight Brew, a blend rumored to reveal hidden paths. As I sipped the steaming liquid, the cafe transformed. The walls shimmered, revealing glimpses of other worlds. Patrons whispered in hushed tones, sharing their desires, the writer seeking inspiration, the musician yearning for a lost melody, the dreamer hoping to touch the stars. Madame Alara leaned closer. "Words," she said, "are like spells. They shape reality. Choose them wisely." And so, I began my conversations. I sat with the writer, weaving stories of love and betrayal. We laughed, our words dancing like fireflies. The musician strummed his guitar, and I sang lyrics that echoed across dimensions. The dreamer shared visions of distant galaxies, and I listened, my heart expanding. But it was the old man in the corner who intrigued me most. His eyes held lifetimes, and he spoke of forgotten realms, the city of whispers where shadows danced, the garden of lost dreams where memories bloomed, and the bridge of echoes connecting past and future. "Seek the silver key," he whispered. "It opens doors unseen." I asked Madame Alara about the key, and she nodded. "The silver key," she said, "lies within you. It unlocks the doors of imagination, allowing you to traverse worlds." And so, I delved deeper. I wrote poems on parchment, leaving them as offerings on the cafe's windowsill. I whispered secrets to the steam rising from my cup, and the cafe walls absorbed them, the ink of my soul seeping into the tapestries. One day, Madame Alara handed me a blank notebook. "Write your own brew," she said. "Create spells that heal, inspire, and connect." And so, I did. I brewed the Dawn Elixir, a potion to banish darkness. I penned the Moonflower verse, a rhyme to mend broken hearts. And when the cafe was quiet, I whispered the Stardust Chant, a melody that carried wishes to distant constellations. As the seasons changed, so did the cafe. Leaves danced in autumn breezes, and snowflakes settled on the windows in winter. But Madame Alara remained constant, her eyes ever knowing. One day, she handed me a silver key, the very one the old man had spoken of. Unlock your destiny, she said. Answer, I stepped through the cafe's back door, a portal to the unknown. Beyond lay a path of mist and moonlight. I walked, my heart thrumming with anticipation. The silver key had opened more than a door. It had unlocked my purpose. I became a wordweaver, a traveler between realms, stitching stories into existence. And as I wandered, I realized that every conversation, every brew, was a thread in the cosmic tapestry. So, dear reader, if you ever find yourself on that cobblestone street, seek out the enchanted brew. Order a cup of wonder, and listen. For there, amidst whispers and stardust, you'll discover your own magic, the language that binds us all. Beyond the bustling streets of London, where the city's heartbeat fades into whispers, lies a place few mortals know, the Midnight Library. Its existence defies logic, hidden in the interstice between reality and dreams. I stumbled upon it during a moonless night. The library stood at the end of a narrow alley, its facade cloaked in ivy. The door bore no handle, only a silver keyhole, the very key I had received from Madame Alara. I inserted it, and the door swung open, revealing a world beyond imagination. Inside, the air smelled of ancient parchment and forgotten tales. The shelves stretched infinitely, their wooden spines adorned with titles in languages I couldn't decipher. Dust motes danced in the dim light, and the silence was profound, a symphony of hushed breaths. The librarian, a spectral figure with hollow eyes, greeted me. "Welcome," he whispered. "What knowledge do you seek?" I hesitated, my heart racing. "Stories," I replied. "Hidden narratives, the ones that defy time." He led me to a section labeled Whispers of Eternity. Here, books whispered secrets of lost civilizations, star-crossed lovers, and parallel dimensions. I chose one, a leather-bound tome titled The Chronomancer's Codex. Its pages shimmered like stardust. As I read, the words wove visions. I witnessed the fall of Atlantis, the city sinking beneath turquoise waves. I danced with nymphs in moonlit glades, their laughter echoing through centuries. And there, in a forgotten corner, I found a chapter titled The Language of Mirrors. The librarian leaned closer. "Mirrors," he said, "reflect more than appearances. They hold memories, alternate realities, and glimpses of what could be." I studied the chapter, its ink pulsing like a heartbeat. It revealed that mirrors were portals, gateways to parallel lives. By uttering specific phrases, one could step through and explore other versions of themselves. Each mirror held a story, a divergent path, a choice unmade. I practiced the incantations. In front of a cracked antique mirror, I whispered, "I am the wanderer." The glass rippled, and suddenly, I stood in a bustling marketplace, ancient Persia. I wore silken robes, and the scent of spices hung in the air. A merchant offered me a pomegranate, and as I bit into it, I glimpsed my other self, a scholar in Alexandria, deciphering hieroglyphs. Another mirror revealed a snowy forest, a realm untouched by time. I spoke, "I am the seeker." The trees whispered secrets, their leaves inscribed with forgotten languages. I met my counterpart, a nomad mapping constellations. We shared stories by a campfire, our voices blending with the wind. But it was the mirror in the library's heart that intrigued me most. It hung in a chamber veiled by cobwebs, a relic of forgotten magic. I recited, "I am the dreamer." The glass trembled, and I stepped into a room identical to the one I'd left. But there, on the table, lay a letter I had never written. It was from my future self, a plea to change a pivotal decision. The words blurred as tears welled in my eyes. The mirror whispered, "Every choice echoes across realities. Choose wisely." And sir, I returned to London, my mind ablaze. I sought mirrors, every reflective surface, an old pond, a polished spoon, a dew-kissed window. I spoke the incantations, and each time, I glimpsed fragments of other lives. In one mirror, I was a pirate sailing Caribbean seas. In another, a scientist unraveling quantum mysteries. And sometimes, I saw versions of people I knew, friends, lovers, strangers, each living different stories. But the Midnight Library held more. In its deepest chamber, I found a mirror veiled in starlight, the astral-looking glass. It revealed the cosmos, the birth of galaxies, dying stars, and black holes devouring time itself. I gazed into infinity, my soul expanding. The librarian watched my transformation. "Language," he said, "is the key to these mirrors. Words shape reality, but they also unlock it." And sir, I wrote my own incantations, poems, sonnets, and cryptic phrases. I whispered them to the mirrors, and they responded, a kaleidoscope of lives converging. As I pen this chapter, dear reader, I invite you to seek your own mirrors. They exist in antique shops, rain-slicked streets, and forgotten attics. Utter the words, and who knows what reflections you'll find. For in the language of mirrors, every choice becomes a universe, every reflection a story. Beyond the earthly realms, where constellations weave the cosmic tapestries, lies a sanctuary of starlight, the celestial observatory. Its existence is whispered among astronomers, dreamers, and those who seek answers beyond our blue planet. I stumbled upon it during a moonrise, a night when the sky shimmered with secrets. The observatory stood atop a mountain peak, its domed roof reflecting the Milky Way. The path leading to it was narrow, winding through ancient forests and forgotten trails. I ascended, guided by the glow of distant galaxies. The observatory's entrance was guarded by a silver gate, an intricate lattice of constellations. I pressed my palm against it, and the gate yielded, revealing a chamber bathed in celestial hues. The air smelled of stardust and anticipation. Inside, telescopes stood like sentinels, their lenses focused on distant quasars, nebulae, and planets yet unnamed. The walls bore star charts, maps of cosmic highways. And there, at the center, sat the observatory's keeper, a figure cloaked in moonbeams. "Welcome," the keeper said, their voice echoing across light years. "What celestial knowledge do you seek?" I hesitated, my eyes drawn to a telescope labeled the Star Whisperer. It promised glimpses beyond time, into realms where wishes ignited suns and comets carried love letters. "I seek," I replied, "the language of stars, their songs, their messages." The keeper nodded, and we approached the telescope. Its eyepiece was a portal, a conduit to distant realms. I peered through, and the universe unfolded. In Orion's belt, I heard the Betelgeuse ballad, a mournful melody sung by a dying star. Its light, dimmed by eons, whispered secrets of cosmic cycles. In the Pleiades cluster, I deciphered the Seven Sisters cipher, a code etched in blue fire. It revealed the origins of life, the dance of atoms, and the promise of rebirth. And when I focused on Vega, the harbinger of dreams, I glimpsed parallel worlds. In one, I was a painter, brushing galaxies onto canvas. In another, a comet rider, trailing stardust across infinity. The keeper leaned closer. Stars, they said, speak in frequencies beyond human ears. But their language is woven into our souls. Listen. Answer. I did. I closed my eyes, attuning to the cosmic hum. I heard the Lyra lullaby, a melody that cradled newborn planets. I felt the Cassiopeia cadence, a rhythm of cosmic tides. But it was the orbiting ode that moved me most. It told of souls, of travelers who once walked Earth, now scattered among the constellations. Their memories lingered in meteor showers, their laughter in solar flares. The keeper handed me a quill, a feather plucked from a comet's tail. Write, they said, compose your own starlit verse. Answer, I did. I penned the Nebula Nocturne, a sonnet to the interstellar void. I inscribed the Galactic Ghazal, a tribute to love across light years. And when I whispered the cosmic canticle, the observatory trembled, the walls absorbing my words. As I left, the keeper bestowed a gift, a vial of celestial ink. Use it wisely, they said. Write your own constellations. Answer, I returned to Earth, my heart ablaze. I sought the night sky, its canvas of obsidian. I dipped my quill in the ink, and with each stroke, I named new stars, after lost loves, forgotten dreams, and the laughter of children. As I pen this chapter, dear reader, I invite you to find your own observatory. Seek it in moonlit gardens, atop mist-shrouded hills, or within the quiet chambers of your soul. Listen to the stars, they whisper stories of eternity, and their language is written in light. In the heart of the quantum lexicon, where words vibrate like subatomic particles, lies a realm beyond syntax, a place where language transcends its earthly limitations. Here, every syllable is a quark, every sentence a waveform, and every story a cosmic collision. I stumbled upon it during a quantum eclipse, a rare alignment of parallel realities. The lexicon's entrance was a Schrodinger's portal, pulsating with uncertainty. I stepped through, and the fabric of existence rippled around me. Inside, the air hummed with quantum murmurs, echoes of forgotten dialects and half-formed thoughts. The shelves held books, some solid, others ethereal. Their titles shifted, Heisenberg's haikus, Wheeler's whispers, and Feynman's fables. The librarian, a shimmering being of uncertainty, greeted me. Welcome, they said, their voice a superposition of tones. What probabilities do you seek? I hesitated, drawn to a book labeled The Uncertainty Sonnets. Its pages flickered, sometimes blank, sometimes overflowing with verses. I touched one, and the ink rearranged itself, a quantum ode to love and entropy. The librarian leaned closer. Words, they said, are entangled particles. Each choice collapses a universe. Right. Answer, I did. I composed quantum ballads, songs that existed in multiple keys simultaneously. I penned wave-function epics, narratives where characters coexisted as both hero and villain. And when I whispered the Planckian lullaby, the lexicon quivered, the walls absorbing my intentions. But it was the quantum lexicon's codex that held the greatest mystery. It revealed the eternal verb, a word that shaped reality across dimensions. I spoke it, even. Instantly, I stood in a timeless agora, a gathering of beings from past, present, and future. The Einsteinian poet recited verses about curved space-time. The Bohr bard sang of electrons dancing in probability clouds. And the Hawking harpist played melodies woven from black holes. I asked the librarian about the even. They smiled, a quantum smile, both there and not there. It's the language of creation, they said. Speak it, and you'll alter existence. And sir, I returned to Earth, my mind ablaze. I sought the quantum moments, those split seconds when choices diverged. I whispered even to lovers on crossroads, to artists at blank canvases, and to dreamers gazing at stars. As I pen this chapter, dear reader, I invite you to find your own quantum lexicon. Seek it in uncertainty, in the gaps between breaths, and in the silence before dawn. Listen to the whispers, they echo across realities, and their language is written in probabilities. As our tale within the quantum lexicon draws to a close, let us take a moment to reflect on the journey we've undertaken together. Through the looking glass of language, we've traversed the vast expanse of the cosmos, danced with the intricacies of time, and delved into the heart of existence itself. In the hallowed halls of the Midnight Library, we've uncovered the stories that bind the fabric of the universe, each narrative thread a testament to the endless possibilities that language holds. We've spoken the eternal verb, even, and witnessed the birth of worlds, the symphony of stars, and the silent ballet of quantum particles. We've sat with the Einsteinian poet, whose verses curved around space-time, and listened to the Bohr bard, whose songs resonated with the harmony of electrons. The Hawking harpist played for us the melodies of the cosmos, each note a beacon in the dark expanse of space. Our journey has been one of discovery, not just of the universe around us, but also of the universe within. The words we've shared have become more than mere symbols. They've become the keys to unlocking the deepest chambers of our souls, the hidden alcoves where our dreams and fears reside. As we part ways, remember that the quantum lexicon is not just a place but a state of being. It exists wherever curiosity sparks, wherever imagination takes flight, and wherever hearts connect across the void. It is the place where the language of the heart meets the language of the mind, creating a harmony that resonates across all realities. So, dear traveler, as you step out from the pages of this story and back into the world, carry with you the magic of the words you've encountered. Let them be your compass, guiding you through the unknown. Let them be your lantern, illuminating the path ahead. And let them be your melody, singing the song of the stars. The quantum lexicon will always be here, a beacon in the night sky, a whisper in the wind, a reflection in the mirror. Whenever you seek it, you'll find it waiting, an oasis of wonder in the desert of the mundane, a sanctuary of wisdom in the chaos of existence. And sir, with a heart full of gratitude and eyes brimming with stardust, we bid farewell to the quantum lexicon. But this is not goodbye, For every end is a new beginning, and every farewell is an invitation to a new adventure. May your words continue to weave the fabric of your destiny, and may the stories you tell become the legends of tomorrow. Until we meet again, may the universe embrace you in its infinite dance, and may you always find joy in the quantum waltz of life. Farewell, dear friend, until our stories intertwine once more in the boundless tapestry of time.